Ready when you are.
What's going on, Cage? It's the week
I'm having a drink. I'm having a drink here.
Coast National. He won't. He can't even give me 5 seconds to do an intro.
Go ahead. I'm going to give you a free minute. Go. I'm counting.
I don't have a minute. Well, actually, I do. So first off, this is a week of East Coast National. But before we get into that, I gotta tell you guys, man, we did the 10 for 10 series, and I've been doing these polls on our Instagram story to see, what did you guys think? Did you like it? Did you not? Overwhelmingly, people loved it. But I'll tell you what people love more and what they've missed. And these, I would say we got 10 to 20 of these DMs, Cage. They miss our daily show. They miss your takes. They miss your analysis. So I'm really, really looking forward to today's show. I have 2 plays I couldn't be more excited for.
Really?
I officially signed up for Card Ladder. I kind of feel like an idiot that I haven't had Card Ladder for a long time because it's got all this data right in front of me. So we'll see if that lasts. I'm just someone who doesn't love subscriptions. So, I think that's part of it. But both of my plays, I looked at the Card Ladder data. I looked at the pop, and I was like, this is awesome. So I'm really excited about my plays. Cage, before I turn it over to you, I have some topics today. I know you went back to the city. You had a work day. What's top of mind with Cage? What are you looking at? What are you thinking about? Is it NFTs? Is it vintage cars? Are you getting back into modern?
No, I mean, I bid on a couple of things in the REA auction last night. I did not win any. I was in extended bidding in a couple of bidding wars, and a couple of the things that I was bidding on got a little higher than I wanted to pay, and I just bowed out. So to the folk who beat me on the 6 or 7. Not really. I mean, it's part of, I think, being disciplined, right? I mean, I identify things that I thought would sell at a certain price, and I think they're worth it. Once it gets up to the point where I think it's not worth it, I bow out. If somebody wants to pay more than that, great. Do I miss an opportunity? Perhaps. There were some cool, vintage baseball items in last night's REA ending auction, and I did not walk away with any. That's a little upsetting, but you also don't want to chase. You know what I mean? Like you get, I'm going to buy this one, and then all of a sudden, you get into it's just you and one other person bidding, and then you wind up overpaying for something. I was trying to bid on things that, who knows when the next time they're going to show up is, though. So that makes it a little, tougher to pass on it. You got to pay, I guess. I guess I apologize to whoever it is who I was bidding against because I guess I made you pay more. So sorry about that. Let's see what else. What else am I thinking? Yeah, man, doing a lot of NFT stuff. We added a lot of people to our NFT research group. I'm still learning so much about that stuff. You know what I mean? I did not own an NFT before this year. I own a lot now. We started with Top Shot. That was a big learning experience. I still have my Top Shot account, still have money in my Top Shot account, still have moments in my Top Shot account. I don't actively trade it. It's kind of off season. I don't really want summer league moments presently. I'm trying to think what the heck else. Yeah, but cards, back to cards, man. I mean, I'm excited about cards. That auction last night, that Robert Edwards auction, that was come on, with that Honus Wagner, that's always been kind of like the bell cow, right? It's always been the bellwether,
the card that at one hand exchanged hands for $1,000, $1,100.
In what, 1973 or something like that?
I don't have the data off the top of my head. I think I saw it was in the 1980s, but still, I mean, yeah.
So in 2003, I was offered a Honus Wagner. It was a PSA 1 for $176,000. And I did not have the money at the time, but I was saving up for a down payment for my house. And I had, a good chunk of money. I'm glad I bought my house. I've raised my kids in it and all that stuff instead of buying a piece of cardboard. I'm sure my current wife, who was my fiance at the time, might not have actually gone through with the wedding had she found out that every dollar I saved and then some went towards a piece of cardboard. Although, think about it now, what would that thing be worth? So
you might be able to retire. Cage's house is fascinating, guys. I hope he invites us over for like a Luca Nation barbecue one day.
Yeah, like a Cribs episode I could do too.
Like a Cribs. His backyard and pool is as big, if not bigger, in square feet as your house.
Yes.
It takes literally it's its own lot.
Yes, the backyard is as large as the lot that the house is on, 100%.
And you just couldn't say no. You were like, Honus Wagner or this huge pool to slip. It's like Olympic-sized pool.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the time, I said I need to buy a house. I wasn't thinking, baseball cards we're gonna turn into something crazy almost 20 years later. I bought myself one of those 33 Ruths instead with a little bit of money. Got the itch of buying a card. Same seller, same guy had both of them. Bought the itch of buying a card out. Still was able to buy my house. The Wagner was $176,000. The Ruth was $175,000 less than that, so it was an easy decision for me. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's great to see that because when that card is leading, what does that mean? There are obviously better Wagners. Just like when the Mantle 9 sold for 5.2, there are 310s. So while that's the record holder for most, expensive private sale, most expensive sale, public sale, you already know that there are better versions of that card. There are better versions of the Mantle. So that means that you shouldn't say, oh, wow, the most expensive card or the most valuable card is worth 6 points.
That's actually going to be really interesting, right? Like we see headlines on Forbes and stuff, and people are taking notice. Like it's on ESPN, but people will really take notice when there's a public sale of that Mantle 10. Because that's going to be 30, 40 mil, right? Like we hear 6 mil, okay. But there's going to be a sale for these where it comes to 30, 40 mil that are going to raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, it's one interesting of the high-grade Wagners. Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Well, if not the best condition cards are setting records. But let me shift gears, Cage, and I'm going to go to insert you hate that's going berserk. So I don't know if you've seen what Kaboom is doing, but if you guys want to do this, you can go to Card Ladder, across the board, just search the Kaboom insert. And then check out Curry, Luka, Brady, Melo, Peyton Manning, Butler. Like you'll get a ton of results, and across the board, and these aren't just the gold ones; these are the base, are going astronomical. Now, another thing, I was on Gary's NFT talk yesterday. He talked about how interesting it would be if Kaboom NFTs came out, and how much he loves the Kaboom insert. So, Cage, I guess my first question is: people love Kaboom. Regardless if you love it or not, people love it. And I'm worried when I see something like this where prices have gone maybe 100x in a really short period of time, 50x, 50% up, 100% up in a short period of time. People might be trying to chase. Is now too late to get on Kaboom? Or do you see this as, you know what, I didn't love Kaboom, but this is going to be the insert of the modern insert, the modern scoring kings. And it's actually going to be here to stay. And I know I'm putting you on the spot. I'm giving you the mic. You famously said, don't make fetch happen. Are you going to go back on that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, it feels inorganic. I try to protect our audience, right? I try to protect our listeners. If you happen to have bought one of these cheap and it's now ridden up 20x, sell it.
Can I contextualize it real quick?
Sure.
So on August 9th, Melo was 6,765 for just the base version Kaboom PSA 10. It just sold 6 days later for $11K.
How many of them are there?
26.
There are 26 total printed. They're numbered out of 26. The LaMelo Kaboom.
No, I'm looking at the pop report here on Card Ladder. So there's 26 PSA 10s.
Right. So how many of them are there? Like how many total are there?
How am I supposed to know that?
Exactly. Thank you for answering.
This is 2 days in a row. Your advice. You're a lawyer. You said lawyers don't ask questions they don't know the answer to.
But I know the answer. That's why I asked it. Nobody knows how many there are. And there's different. No, you didn't look stupid. You gave the right answer. No one knows how many there are. They're not numbered. There's no, there's no print run. Who knows how many there are? There's already 26 PSA 10s and it's $12,000. Okay. All right. And it was $6,000 2 weeks ago. Okay. I get that. Well, what happens if the pop is 50? What happens if the pop is... Who knows what it is? I mean, the Kabooms from older, sure, they're rarer. But, what it makes me think of is this. When your Uncle Phil and your dentist and Larry the garbage man from down the block...
Uncle Phil. I love the Fresh Prince.
Your third grade teacher and, the bus driver, your mailman... When they all know you're into cards and every one of them comes over to your house and says, hey, Kaboom. Kaboom's the one to buy, right? When everybody is on one thing, right? Because they're being told that's the one thing, you got to be careful, right? It's like Top Shot, right? Top Shot was great when there were not a lot of people in it and it ran up. And there was a time where you could get in it, right? But then all of a sudden, it was pervasive. right? It was March and April, and everybody thought Top Shot was the way to go. Let me jump on the Seeing Stars and the Rising Stars and the All Stars. Let me jump on these. Let me get them because, hey, these other ones went up so much. These were up 50x. These were up 100x. And yet the print count was more than the prior ones, just like the print count of the more recent Kabooms is more than the older ones, right? And everybody's in it. And everybody's buying it, expecting that pyramid scheme to continue, and people will keep coming in and buying. And all of a sudden, the legs get cut out from under you, and you're holding a card that is not exactly that rare. And it's not going to be doing the multiple X over X 3 times, you name it. So I mean, Kaboom, listen, it's great. People love it. It's nice. It's art. You know, obviously, I'm on the wrong side of the equation on this. I can't be right about everything. There are powers at play here that are stronger than my rational thought process. Sometimes rational thinking does not capture everything that goes into the market.
That's
right.
true.
And obviously, there is demand for this that is currently exceeding the amount of supply that there is for the Kaboom cards. I guess I just worry if the people driving demand all of a sudden stop talking about soccer NFTs. I mean, Kabooms, and they start talking about color blasts, or they start talking about stained glasses, or they start talking about whatever else it might be, right? Because they're all rare-ish inserts from the same
I gotta
line.
tell you,
They're all art-like.
I gotta tell you, Kaboom. The one kind of issue you have with Kaboom is you don't know the supply, right?
True.
Kaboom Color Blast, like watching Color Blast trade on Panini NFTs is really interesting. I think that those types of art pieces are going to do really, really well when Panini ends up NFTing them. Like I think Kaboom would be a really interesting Panini NFT version because then you would know the exact supply, and it would be fun. It would be digital. It's interesting. So. Any other words on the Kaboom topic? Because
why not downtowns, right? Why not downtowns? Why not?
Downtowns for a while were really popular too.
And what are they doing now? You got a card ladder chart of what the downtowns are up to? Are they have they
pull it up.
and they're moving down? Listen, guys. Obviously, I've been wrong. If you would have bought Kabooms last year, no matter which one it was, you'd be in good shape. Kabooms are difficult, man. You know, some of them are in like national pack. Some of them are in like VIP packs. Some of them are in like Kaboom packs. So they're in different products, different years, different sports. It's I don't know.
Downtown's doing well too, Cage. Downtown's doing pretty well.
There's just something about especially the recent Kabooms that just strike me as organic is the best way to say it. I mean, I don't have any other way of explaining it. Sometimes it doesn't have to be organic, I guess, right?
I texted my buddy. He said, did people get wise after the Top Shot market, right? And I said, don't try to rationalize an irrational market.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Cage, like when you hear things like that's Gary's favorite insert, he loves the design, his brother loves it. And then think about it. You just owned World of Women. Logan Paul came in and bought into World of Women. It's the same kind of concept.
100%.
What does that do? What does that do for the market?
100%. Yeah. I mean, and that's sort of it. And but what happens if you're holding a bunch of those now and then Logan Paul comes out and announces he sold all of his World of Women NFTs and bought into something else that you're not holding? You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of control and a lot of influence, but I guess that's why you call these people influencers. You know what I mean?
So Conrad had an awesome poll. And he had an awesome poll. It was Booker or Jason Tatum. Who do you think is a better player long term?
Tatum. I think Tatum might last longer. He's a little more durable. Got a little more size to him.
Ayton, Karl Anthony Towns.
Towns.
So both of the polls were lopsided towards the other two, Booker and Ayton. And that shows recency bias.
Correct.
It shows a lot of recency bias. And the guy that I think, so we've been talking about, 500 to 2,000, 500 to 10,000, doubling, how does the little guy color up? I think today I found an opportunity that really gives you the best bang for your buck out there. I really do. And I've brought this play up before, but I'm going to give you a different way to play it. So this is someone, last year was kind of a lost season for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but this is someone that's a perennial 20 and 10 guy that I think he's going to come out this year and be 25, 26 points a game, 11 rebounds a game, 2-3 blocks a game, and 3-4 assists. Like, I think he's going to come out swinging, and it's Karl Anthony Towns. He's had a whole year off. He's got a little chip on his shoulder. Last year, I mean, honestly, tragic stuff to his whole family with COVID and all that stuff. It was a lost year for the Timberwolves through and through. And I think healthy, Edwards is young. They have a young core. He's the best player on the team. And I want to give you guys the play of his silver. His silver is about $800. And that's a pop. Let me check this out. Pop 134. Okay. 2015, pop 134 silver, $700-800. I think that's a card that if he starts out hot, that's a card when this whole market's been beat down. He's out of sight, out of mind. You're getting a low pop card. There's that pop's not going to move very much. That could be a $800 to $2,000 card. I really believe that.
Easily. And Anthony Edwards being there is helpful. That's a good play, man. I like the play. I mean, I like Karl Anthony Towns, and he's got all the tools, got everything around him. He could be a star, and he's putting up those numbers. He's putting up those numbers under the radar. Listen, Kaboom, I'm sitting here like angry, like seething at Kabooms. Listen, they're obviously expensive cards. We saw a
Why did they make you so mad?
Of Curry sell for $60,000, right? The 101 Curry sold for $60,000. So obviously, that's about the top end of what you could ever expect any of those cards to be worth. I want everyone to hear that. $60,000 was made public for a 1-of-1 Curry Kaboom. So
why can't that be a $500 card?
A gold Curry would be worth what? I mean, maybe eventually, but right now it's $60,000. That's what it was. So what's a gold Curry? $25,000.
I don't know. People love PSA 10s.
10.
Let me answer the question. People love PSA 10s. And that was a PSA 9. I know it was 1-of-1, but people aren't that smart sometimes.
All right. Well, listen. So, I mean, I just want to make sure everybody knows $60,000 for that 1-of-1 green Curry.
I wouldn't be surprised if a gold one auctioned off right now, it would hit 50.
Maybe.
In a PSA 10 holder.
Maybe. Yeah, because I mean it's a gold and there's probably not.
Why do Kabooms bother you so much? Because it's not because you missed out. You've missed out on
because they're all over the place. They're everywhere. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense, right? You're supposed to have supply and demand. You're supposed to have some sort of scarcity. A card that's going to sell for that much money is supposed to be now a 1-of-1. I get the golds out of 10. I get, right. There's only supposed to be 10 of those, but the base ones, and you don't know how many base ones there are. I mean, LaMelo,
but the gold and the 1-of-1 pull up the base.
That's sort of true, but not always, right? The base regular prisms and silver prisms don't get pulled up just because the 1-of-1s get. That's, I mean, that you don't know that because you don't know how many there are, and they're not giving you those print numbers, and no one has any idea how many of them there are. And I think it's fair to say that there are more each year than the year before. Right? I think there's more of them out there. Look at the LaMelo pop. I mean, it's just the fact that there's 28 PSA 10s. How many of them are there? How many are there raw that people haven't graded yet? How many of them have got 9s? How many of them were sent to BGS? How many of them are out there? And to be $11,000-$12,000, it's scary to me. So I'm going to swing the pendulum in the other direction, right, and give you guys a bargain play because that was kind of what we were based on. And
I still have another bargain play, so don't think I'm coming out swinging today. Go ahead.
Cool.
Kate.
So we got a bargain play from you. So you look this up on Card Ladder. He's probably not on there. Donovan Peoples-Jones, wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. Got to give you your bargain play, guys. I mean, if you want to buy his Prism Silver from 2020. You can pick those up for less than $20 on eBay. They're on ComC. You can buy them in bulk. You want to buy his base, a couple bucks, right? Grab them on Star Stock. They're all over the place. I think this guy is going to have a breakout year this year as a wide receiver. He had the preseason game 1. You don't really, read too much into preseason games because, you don't have the first team out there. You don't have the first quarterback. You don't have all the defense, you name it. But he had one hell of an impressive start and was taken out because he's going to play. He might start the season on the third wide receiver on the depth chart, but he's going to get some play. He made an amazing catch, tiptoe on the sidelines. Had a couple of catches, downfield. I think he had 3 receptions in the first 15 plays. Just obviously they were looking for him. Obviously he's going to be part of the offense. And this is a guy who no one else is giving you as a play because he was a 6th round draft pick. I think he was picked 187 or some crazy number last year. But Urban Meyer said that he's a guy who should have been a top 10 draft pick. Now, obviously, a lot of coaches say that stuff. Played at Michigan, played at a big school, and he just looked the part more so this year than previously. He just looked the part of a starting wide receiver. He's going across the middle, running the routes the right way. I watched him play. I went back and watched some other game film of him, after his preseason game this weekend. I watched him. I was on the train today because I knew I would try to give this guy a pick. Watched him play in college. He's going to grow a little. He's going to get a little bigger. He's going to put on some NFL player muscle. And I think this is the kind of guy who, you're talking about like silver autos for like $30. Like real bargain play here, who if he becomes any type of a name and has a couple touchdown game, everyone's going to run to look for him. And you should be stocking up on him in your Star Stock account. And it's one you can, see like real multiples on if he has one of those good games in week 1, 2, or 3, and you're sitting on a stockpile of his stuff for a very low cost of entry. So there's my go ahead.
I love this. I love when you give these off. This is Kyle Lewis, the Chark play. I love them. Sometimes you don't see them coming. So I love when you give this. And you're usually
with little hyphen, Peoples Jones. Now I was hesitant to give this because I don't want people stealing him in the fantasy league. He's somebody I should get in the last round as like a throwaway, But maybe somebody's going to listen to this now and draft him in the fantasy leagues. So who's your bargain play?
I always talk about this. I'll give it in a second. You're going to like it. It's going to be hilarious, actually. I think it's actually going to make a lot of sense to you, Cage. And I'll give you a hint. It's someone that I gave a year ago this time, too.
Tyler Herro.
It is Tyler Herro.
Yes. For real?
Dude, he's trading at his lowest price. So you can get his Prism PSA 10.
Did you see his haircut?
Yeah, but it's a value buy. It's a bargain buy. It's a guy that's getting beaten down. I don't understand.
Keep talking.
Keep talking to what? To the
keep talking to the blank screen. Yeah, keep talking to the blank screen. 100%. I had to go get something. Remember I told you this was coming back? So I had to go get this. Okay, so look at this gorgeous card. Look at the centering on that. It's beauteous. Right? Top to bottom centering is nice.
It is beauteous, man.
Right? Little perfect centering, both sides. Look at that. It's gorgeous. You see shiny. I don't see any creases on here or anything. Look at this. Centered nicely, up and down centered. I see nothing wrong with it.
It's a 5.
It is a 5, folks. It is a 5. It is gorgeous. This is as nice as a 5 gets. What is wrong with this card? Besides that, it's got Tyler Herro on it. Look at that face. That's the guy you want to invest in right there. Without his Lloyd Christmas haircut. All right, talk to me. Let's hear your rationale.
He's been beat down by his performance, and he's been beat down culturally and everywhere. Like literally, his cards went from $300, $400 to $50. But he's still a young, promising talent in a big market with potential. And with
Who's
the team,
happy to hear this play from you, Ian, because he graded a Tyler Herro Optic Hollow, and when it came back, it was like $250, $300.
I have one of those.
Bud, you want to sell this? And he's like, no, it's Tyler Herro. I'm like, okay, well now it's a coaster.
Tyler Herro is actually. I kind of regret my play because I think I realized something. He's going to be the butt of the joke for the rest of time for all ultra-modern cards.
He's going to be associated with you forever. I will always be the person who told people not to buy Kaboom.
But think about the people we've had successfully on the show, the successful people we've had on the show, right. Gary, all those people that have talked about Tyler Herro, that they don't listen to what the fuck I say.
No,
he's the butt of all the ultra-modern jokes, man.
I think people bring up Tyler Herro to you because they know you picked Tyler Herro.
I mean, I don't understand. I don't think I could have called last year's NBA playoffs better.
Both this year and last year, actually. You definitely know what you're talking about. But what happened to him? So answer me that. He had run in the playoffs last year. He looked real good. He looked like the second coming. And then this year, what happened? He got a bad haircut and just all the confidence was gone? Like, what happened to him?
No, man. A lot of things happen. First off, we forget that these guys are pros. So it's like –
well, he forgot
Tyler Herro's going to go off and cook these
guys.
Well, no, when Tyler Herro goes off and cooks these guys, the next game they play, they're like, "Who the hell is this guy? I'm going to lock him up." No way that's happening again. So there's like when you're the fourth, fifth option, they're trying to stop Bam. They're trying to stop Jimmy Butler. They were trying to stop Dragic. They had no idea who Herro was, and he was coming off the bench, fresh, going against the second unit and dominating. Last year, if you remember, he got put into the starting lineup, and now he had to play a point guard. He's not really a true point guard. He's never been a true point guard. So, like, coming in and having to deal with intense defensive pressure all game, having to facilitate for your teammates when he's really a shooter, right? Like, he literally thinks of himself as a shooter. So I think it was a bad role. I think he got a little bit ahead of himself. I don't know his ego and stuff like that. I'm not with him. But I think he still has potential, and I think he's on a great team. And it's a team that develops talent. So I wouldn't put it past Pat Riley and specifically Eric Spoelstra to improve his game this offseason. And I think that he's going to surprise some people. I don't think he's going to have an amazing season, but I could see him averaging 18 points a game, 20 points a game next year. And what happens then?
People might be able to get out from underwater on that.
You say wow, but like 20 points a game is not what it used to be. Like they
how many did he average this year?
13, 12.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll look it up right now.
That would surprise me.
Yeah, he averaged 15 points per game this season. Last year he averaged 13.5.
He averaged 15 this year?
Dude, he's a scorer. No one watches him.
In what, like 6 games?
I don't understand what this conversation is about.
I'm just messing with you because Tyler Herro is your boy. But
he's literally not my boy, dude.
He is. You know he is. You guys hang out all the time. You play Call of Duty.
And by the way, if you do the per 36 minutes, 18 points a game, both seasons. He could improve his shooting. But he was asked to do so much more. I think they're going to scale back his role, let him score. And I think about $50 for a PSA 10. How much lower are they going to go?
I don't know. There's a lot of them still at PSA.
Sure. Let's say you get them off eBay. I guarantee you could get a lot of 10 for $350. People are going to unload that no matter what. They want their money back.
Listen, it's a good play, right? A low risk. Like, what's the downside to it, right? You know, if he has the similar type season, they're $30-$35, which is what you're paying for him. And if he has a good season, those could really potentially go up in value. The only negative is the explosion in value might not be there because literally everyone graded his cards. Like, I don't know what the pop is on PS10. I'm sure it's not Zion levels, but it's probably not that far behind.
Sure. It's not Zion levels, but it's not far behind. So that's my play. One's a bargain buy. One's a bargain buy. Someone has been beat down, and the other one's Karl Anthony Towns, someone who's been out of sight, out of mind, but is an incredible player, 20-10 guy. Do you have any topics that are top of mind? I want to ask you a quick take.
What movie did you wind up watching last night? Did you watch Field of Dreams? Did you watch?
No,
have you ever seen 8 Men Out?
No, I watched actually a sick movie, really sick movie. Zero Dark 30.
Oh, okay.
So do you know what that's about?
It's not about baseball.
It's this savage CIA agent girl who was tasked ever since she was hired from day one to find Osama bin Laden. And the way she found that was through a courier called like Abu Ahmed. And no one believed her. They're like, it's 50% chance he's in this compound, 50% chance he's in this fucking compound. Go get him. And she mobilized these Blackhawks, and they did an incredible operation, went into this compound, got him, left all in like 22 minutes. And she was the one, like this young 26, 30-year-old girl was literally tasked with finding this guy. And it was one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Okay, watch 8 Men Out. It's a good movie too.
I've kind of been on a movie kick.
All right, so what's your topic before my phone dies?
How much do not game worn, not even player worn patches piss you off? And do you think a high end product like National Treasures is kind of cheapening their brand? / another question: does this help brands like Flawless and other
Yes to both. People, when they pay that much money, are expecting that, right? You can't have game worn in everything. You can't have these large game worn patches in everything. People understand that, but when you're paying the money for National Treasures for that product, you know, it was definitely something that people, when they saw it, were like, "Wow, that's lame. That's that is a fall off from what we were expecting." And yes, it does. It will. Assuming the game worn is in the other products, it will help those products going forward. I'd be looking at those other Flawless for other years, because if National Treasures is gonna fall behind Flawless this year, that's gonna improve Flawless prices for years prior.
You know what's funny? Like, there's so many accounts out there, and there's some people that do it right. Some people are just annoying, but like they're always trying to like find the angle. Who's
Yeah.
cheating the hobby, right?
Yeah.
Who's shilling the hobby? Who's got a new partnership and they're not disclosing information? The greatest, like, the greatest pump fake is Panini. Think about this. The most expensive card. This is a card that's going for 50,000. Is the LaMelo card with a questionable signature and a retail jersey. You like the comedy's not lost on me there.
Listen, I mean, they obviously have enough demand where they were able to cut some corners. Just to say that.
Well, that's the key. So people knowing that the best prize is questionable best Melo autograph with someone else's, with just a jersey from the NBA store, are willing to pay and buy the box. And Cage doesn't find the humor. I love it.
Obviously it's funny, but I also don't want to laugh too much because we know people who are opening these things. We know people who are selling the product. We know people who are looking for these things.
They know this information. This isn't secret information. They knowingly know this, and they're still putting their money in it. I think that's the humor. And then they're also like, NFTs are stupid. Why would I buy a picture?
Listen, so I'm guilty of this myself, right? It doesn't have to be an or. It can be an and. And maybe that's the give, and I'll close the episode on it. Maybe instead of saying, hey, why not Color Blast? Why not Stained Glass? Anything but Kaboom? Maybe I should have said, why not all of them?
A little maybe I should,
maybe I should not have been so dead set against it because, obviously there is demand for it out there. Obviously people like that insert. Obviously people, want that and they want to add it to their collection. And, not everybody is as big a fan of 90s Jordan inserts as I am. People want the Kabooms, one man's power in the key, one man's, scoring kings is another man's Kaboom. So, I get it. And to anybody who listened to me and didn't buy a Kaboom that they would have made money on, I do sincerely apologize. My hatred of Kabooms has clouded my judgment, I guess.
They're big boys. They're big boys and girls. They make their own decisions.
Well, listen. Maybe I'll buy a Kaboom now. What do you think? Should I go out and buy one? Like you can't join him.
Peoples Jones.
What? If he has one, I would buy it. If Donovan Peoples-Jones has a Kaboom, I would buy it. Devontae Graham had a Kaboom, I would buy it. Right?
I'm sure he does.
He does not have a Kaboom. I mean, neither Peoples-Jones nor Devontae Graham have Kabooms. Why would
they make Kabooms for all NBA players, but they skip over Cage's favorite?
They don't have one for all NBA players. No, it's just an insert set.
So on inserts, they don't put every player?
No. Inserts are usually smaller subsets. They're usually the all-stars, maybe the best player on the team, maybe sometimes two of the best players on the team. They're smaller, insert sets. It's not, like the Prism basketball set is like 300 cards. They're not going to have 300 basketball players, who all have Kabooms. They're not going to, likely, even though you love him, Tyler Herro probably doesn't have a Kaboom in this year's set. Bismack Biyombo Kaboom is probably not going to sell that well. His one-on-one vinyl NFT is not going to sell that well either. I know because I have it. But it's not. There's not a Kaboom for every person. That's definitely not the case. But yeah, there's my Kaboom. Full circle on Kaboom, guys.
Good episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Different style, right? We've done it all. We got a little fractional yesterday.
Before you go, can I ask you something? Can I ask you? We got 10 for 10.
Yeah.
What do you think about? We've got a lot of people who made some really good suggestions, and a lot of people really liked it. I'm not saying we do it next week. I'm not saying we do it tomorrow. I'm not saying, but you want to run it back. We kind of mentioned it in one of the videos that you want to see whether or not we can do another 10. You want to see whether or not Luca Nation is excited about that. Maybe they have any interest in us doing it.
I live to serve.
I think it's cool, man. And maybe we get some folks that are who've been in the hobby for a little while. Maybe some other folks who were suggested by us in our initial poll. The listeners called out. We can't get everybody, guys. We had like 50 or 60 different hobby account names with multiple suggestions for us, but I think it's a cool idea. Maybe we run it back. Maybe do another 10, unless you're against it.
If I'm against it,
yeah.
I live to serve. I told you that. If people say it, I'll make it happen.
All right, so Luca
If
Nation,
people
let us
want it,
know
I'll
what you
make it
think.
happen.
Let us know what you think there, Luca Nation. And this is fun. I like getting back to these normal episodes. This is a good time, man. Thank you.